keys to winning? Winning and losing may not matter today, so how about this? What are the keys to impressing your coach or general manager in this preseason game?
I tell you what, especially on the offensive and defense side of the football, alignment, assignment, execution. You need to make sure you're aligned in the right spot. Some guys that played some big-time college football programs like Auburn, Alabama, Ohio State. Those guys were probably 4- or 5-star recruits in high school, were day-one starters the minute they set foot on campus. Now they're fighting for a roster spot. They need to have the ability to check their ego at the door, go out there, run down and cover a kickoff, play punt, dog someone on punt return. That's the type of stuff that these coaches want to see, and that's the type of stuff that'll get you on this roster and give you the opportunity to eventually, hopefully, become a CFL starter.
Yeah, I love the story you told on Campbell versus Gallo yesterday, saying that your first preseason game, you walked in and you were thrown on defense and you thought about it. You hadn't tried to tackle anybody since you threw your last interception at quarterback.
And I'm pretty sure it was just an escort out of bounds, or I flopped onto the ground and hoped that he tripped over me, because I tell you what, when I got out there, I was just in a complete blender. I was convinced I was going to get released as soon as we landed back in Montreal from that flight from Winnipeg. Luckily, I found out that I was a draft pick, so I was protected at least until the end of camp. Gave me a couple of days to settle down, to try and get my focus, a little bit of confidence back, which led into that second preseason game where I had a tremendous outing here at Percival Molson Stadium and solidified my spot on the 2010 edition of the Montreal Alouettes.
Well, we are ready for kickoff. The Alouettes will be kicking off to the Toronto Argonauts. David Cote back out there, kicking duties, number 15 for the Alouettes, as he is lined up about 8 yards back of the football, which is placed on the 30. And we are ready for some CFL football in 2024 with Cote kicking this off to Jordan Bird. And Bird will grab that at the 16, and he'll follow his blockers up the left side, hit the 30, 35, and get tackled near the 40. Solid return for the Argos. The Argos, at least for this portion of the game, will be led out by Cameron Dukes. And Cameron Dukes is really going to get an opportunity here at quarterback with a 9-game suspension to Chad Kelly.
Yeah, and earlier this week, the Argos went out and signed CFL journeyman and veteran quarterback Nick Arbuckle. But right now, it seems that Dukes will get the first crack at the starting job during Kelly's absence.
A lot of players up on the line defensively for the Alouettes, and they're going to throw a quick out. Marius Daniels with the catch, 7 yards upfield, around the 47. Maybe they'll call that 6, so second and short upcoming, 2nd and 4, as they mark them down at the 46.
Aggressive play call there on the opening play of the game by Alouettes defensive coordinator Noel Thorpe, bringing 8 from the line of scrimmage. Good job by Dukes recognizing that and getting the ball in his hands quickly.
Kadeem Carey, former Stampeder, in the backfield to the left of Cameron Dukes. Receivers in motion, 2nd and 4. Dukes in the pocket. He's in a little bit of trouble. He'll scramble out to his right. Here comes Reggie Stubblefield, and he'll force him to throw that away. It's a 2-and-out for the Owls. And Reggie Stubblefield last year wore number 35, and with the season he had, he walked into the trainer's room and said, "Is 2 available? I'd like to wear number 2 this year."
Yeah,
looking sharp out there.
A little bit more swag with that number 2 for Stubblefield, who ended up being the last man to play at that strong side linebacker position in this Alouettes defense. It was a revolving door due to injury for the first part of last season, but eventually Stubblefield able to take over that spot and play well.
Long hanging kick as James Fletcher Jr. will take it at his own 19. And he'll get about 7 yards as he gets up to the 25-yard line, 26. And that's where Cody Fajardo will start with the ball. Right hash marks, 26-yard line, Cody Fajardo. And the Alouettes starters will get a good portion of this game. We'll see if some of them might get the rest for the game next week against Ottawa. Depends on how they play. Tevin Jones, number 14, goes out on the wide side, or the short side of the field, on the far side for us. Walter Fletcher in the backfield, receivers in motion. Fajardo throwing on first down. He's got Tevin Jones. That's good for 5 yards. 2nd and 5 upcoming.
Good eyes by Fajardo as the Argos were bringing the blitz off the left side of that line of scrimmage. Fajardo catches the snap, gets the ball off cleanly. The slant route to Jones. Nice to see them building a little bit of chemistry as Jones is the newcomer in that Montreal receiving core this year.
Fletcher stays in. They bring in the fullback, so Tyler Sneed in motion. Taking the snap, 2nd and 5 in the pocket. Fajardo going deep down the left side for Philpott, hanging up in the air, and he makes the grab at midfield. Catching it at its highest point. First down, Montreal.
What a great catch by Philpott, who looks in mid-season form, as Fajardo able to split the cover 3 right between 2 defenders. But great job by Philpott climbing the ladder and catching that one at the highest point, as it looked like an Argos defender was going to have a shot at that football.
Fletcher to the left of Fajardo. He'll take the ball, go up the middle, spin off a tackle, pump his legs. It looks like he was going to be tackled for 3 yards, but make that 7. Nice little run from Fletcher, who has the opportunity to be the starter this year for the Owls.
Yeah, with the departure of William Stanback, now with the BC Lions. And we saw Fletcher fill in for Stanback due to injury last year. Fletcher bringing a different type of skill set to that Montreal backfield, a much smaller but shiftier back than the workhorse that was William Stanback.
Sibasu checks into the game. Snap coming. Fajardo puts it up to Tevin Jones. He'll get tackled right away. Maybe gets a yard, so it'll be about 3rd and 3 from the Argo 48-yard line. And looks like they're going to go for it. Preseason, why not? You're outside field goal range. It's 3rd and 3. Have confidence in your offense. Need to get to the 46. Ball's placed just on the inside of the 49. Fletcher switches from the left to the right. Blitz coming. Fajardo in the pocket going right down the middle. He's got a man open. High on. Julian Grant makes the catch. Spins at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Montreal.
Tremendous effort by Julian Grant, who was wrapped up by an Argos defender at about the 6-yard line. But he keeps on fighting, stays on his feet, and makes it all the way into the end zone. Great job by the Alouettes receiver, fighting until the end and getting in the end zone to open up the score here in this game.
Well, if the season's going to be like this, Marco, I think we're going to have a whole lot of fun. What an opening drive by the Alouettes. 2 big plays, one to Philpott and one to Kion Julian Grant, who caught that around the 13-yard line. And he had 2 defenders draped on him, and he just powered his way into the end zone as David Cote lines up for that extra point. And it's through. And the Alouettes lead 7-0 here in the first quarter on TSN 690. Tyson Philpott, Tevin Jones, and Kion Julian Grant.
And I tell you what I love about that play. 3rd and 4, the Alouettes looking for a first down, but Cody Fajardo recognizes what he has in front of him, and that's the Argos defense bringing pressure, but with no post defender down in the deep middle of the field. So he loads up and takes a shot downfield, able to connect with Julian Grant, who with a little bit of extra effort makes his way all the way into the end zone for his first touchdown of the preseason.
Jordan Bird with his second return, and he runs into a wall of Alouettes at the 30. First one on it, Reggie Stubblefield. And we know how many snaps he took last year, special teams and defensively.
Those are the types of guys that you want on your team. I bet you he's not complaining one bit about having to run down and cover kicks. He loves it as he gets up in that pile, jacked up and ready to play some defense here early in the first quarter.
They'll mark him down at the 31. That's where the Argos start with their second series. Cameron Dukes. He'll hand that off to Kadeem Carey. He gets about a yard. 2nd and long upcoming. Deontay Ruffin and Sean Lemon in on the tackle. Oh, pushing and shoving after. Most of the starters are still in, so a lot of familiar faces for last year's East Final, where the Owls defense really took care of business. What a performance they had last year in Toronto.
Just incredible how that unit really supported this football team, with the offense going through some ups and downs. I mean, it took this defense scoring touchdowns sometimes for the Alouettes to come out with some wins during the 2023 season. So they're excited to have the core of that defense back this year.
5-man rush. Marshall makes the catch. He'll get to the outside and get a first down. The first of the game for the Argos. Pushed out of bounds around the 46-yard line.
Oh, Ruffin just got caught by the little stutter step there. Had an opportunity to tackle Marshall short of the first down marker, but bit on the footwork, allowing Marshall to turn the corner and get enough for the first down. Cameron Dukes, the Toronto Argonauts quarterback, getting the first crack at being the starter during the absence of suspended 2023 CFL MOP Chad Kelly.
Dukes will keep it. He's in a little trouble in the pocket. He's going to take it himself. He goes up the field near midfield as he made a couple Alouettes miss. Get about 8 yards. Tackled around the 53. 2nd and 2 upcoming.
Dukes scrambling right up the middle of that Alouettes defense, and 2 big names that are not in uniform in the middle of that Alouettes defense here tonight. Mustafa Johnson, who was a breakout star on that Montreal defensive line last year, and free agent signing Dylan Wynn, the former Hamilton Ticats. That'll be a new look interior to that Montreal defensive line this season.
And off to Kadeem Carey. He's got enough for the first down and more as he bounces out to the outside into Alouette territory around the 40. Pushed out of bounds right in front of their bench. Good run from Kadeem Carey. That's a nice offseason pickup by the Argos.
One of the leading rushers in the CFL. After the retirement of Andrew Harris and the departure of A.J. Ouellette, left a void in that Toronto backfield. But good pickup by getting Kadeem Carey, who takes that outside zone handoff down the left side and follows his blocker, able to find enough space for a first down.
5 receiver set for Dukes. He's in the pocket, holding, now goes up the middle. He's got a man, Devarius Daniels. Makes the catch, but he gets hit hard by Deontay Ruffin. That's LeBlanc, the cornerback, stepping in. Gervon LeBlanc, the rookie, getting a chance to be a starter here in the preseason game, and he shows his physicality with that hit on Daniels.
A couple of starters in that secondary not in uniform tonight. Wesley Sutton and Najee Murray, but LeBlanc has been a name that's come out of training camp as having shined over the last 2 weeks on this Montreal defense. He comes up with a big hit there.
He's one-on-one far side with Marshall as the ball's dropped on the snap, but Dukes will pick it up and go for a run. And he'll pick up about 4 yards up to the 15. Into the red zone come the Argos. From a broken play, pretty good.
Sean Lemon had a free run off the edge, just overran it and had a bad angle as Dukes was able to scoop that one up and weasel his way inside for some positive yardage, avoiding disaster on the muffed snap.
2nd and 4 from the Alouette 15. Dukes got Kadeem Carey in the back. Going to hand it off. He goes right up the middle. The Alouettes will swallow him up. He'll get about a yard and a half, leaving about a yard and a half for first down. So it'll be third and a very long one, maybe even two for the Argos.
Great job by Alouettes middle linebacker Darnell Sankey, who was lined up down on the line of scrimmage, one-on-one with the Argos offensive lineman, but he stood his ground.
And they're going to go for it. It's a very long 1 yard. Cameron Dukes is in the shotgun. 5 receivers set. Kadeem Carey in the backfield. Standing to his left. Dukes, he's in the backfield. He's throwing. He lobs it up in the end zone. Touchdown, Marshall. Cameron Dukes showing poise. Showed that he was going to run to the left, avoided the sack, and just popped that up in the air, allowing Justin Marshall to sit under it for the Argos' first score of the game.
On Alouettes 2023 CFL All-Star free safety Marc-Antoine Dequoy comes clean off of the edge. Had a run at Dukes, but looked like he was just maybe a little out of control when he made contact with the Argos quarterback, unable to bring him down, and Dukes able to get that football off and connect with Marshall, as the Argos are an extra point away from tying this football game.
Jesus Lozada, the kicker for the Argos, will put that through, and we're all tied up at 7. 5:44 left of the first quarter on TSN 690. Back at his 9-yard line. First quarter action. Sean Campbell, Marco Briette, glad you could join us for Alouettes football on TSN 690. Low spiraling kick. It's going to hop once up in the air, and Letcher will grab it at the 18-yard line. Go up the left side. Can't find a hole. He'll get swallowed up at the 38.
Letcher Jr., a late breakout star last season for the Alouettes, made former return man Chandler Worthy expendable, Worthy being released just before the start of training camp, as the Alouettes have elected to go with amount of muscle during the offseason, and it showed when he had the football in his hands. They're so tough to take down, and they were utilizing him a lot in that wide receiver smoke screen game, trying to get him the ball at or behind the line of scrimmage and letting him do the rest. And he had defenders bouncing off of him, but unfortunately his season got slowed with that upper body injury. Only 9 games played last year for Julian Grant, but was still able to amass over 500 yards receiving. And so we got a nice little Canadian duo brewing up in this Montreal receiving corps with Tyson Philpott and Keon Julian Grant.
And we're good to go on first down. Hand off to Walter Fletcher. He finds a hole up the middle, and that's a solid first down run of 5 yards, taking it all the way up to the 39-yard line. So second and a long 4 upcoming. On that first drive for Fajardo, 4 for 4, 79 yards in the touchdown pass to Julian Grant of 48 yards.
And you got to think if the Owls offense can string together a couple of first downs here on this drive and close out the first quarter, that might be it for Fajardo.
Blitz coming right up the middle, and Fajardo gets hit, but he gets the ball off, and he's got enough for the first down. As David Dallaire makes the catch. Not many catches all season long, but he was there when Fajardo needed him because Fajardo took his first hit of the game.
And it seems like Dallaire is going to see an increased role in this Montreal offense this season. Fullback James Tuck left in free agency, leaving Dallaire as the number 1 fullback on the Alouettes roster.
Fajardo takes a snap. Almost tripping, cutting across with Tyson Philpott, and then he had to play a little bit of defense. There's maybe a little collision and contact before the ball got there, but still haven't seen a flag yet today. Wasn't asking for one, Marco.
Oh, it's
second and 10.
Argo's defensive back, Tarvarius McFadden, is well read there as he played flat-footed, recognized the slant, broke downhill on that one. Looked like he might have been a tad bit early, but the refs just allowing those guys to play football out there.
4-man rush. Keon Julian Grant on the other side of half. And again, so hard to bring down. That's a first down, Montreal. A nice 14-yard catch.
Great route there by Julian Grant on the right side of the field. 3 of the Alouettes receivers motion into the bunch at the snap of the football. Julian Grant with the vertical route breaks to the corner, but when he sees the high defender, he hits the brakes and sits right in the hole of that zone. Great throw by Fajardo to find his man for the first down.
Another hit on Fajardo, but he has a slant route over to Tyson Philpott on first down, getting inside the 45-yard line to the 44. So second and 4, that's good for 6 yards. But another hit taken by Fajardo. That one looked a little high, too.
Another pressure by the Toronto Argonauts, bringing a man off the edge. We're used to seeing some vanilla defense during the preseason, but we've seen the Owls defense run a 0 blitz so far in this game. Argos are bringing pressure.
And it's play action, and Fajardo swings this out to Julian Grant, and then he passes it out. It's almost an option play, but he's going to be pushed out of bounds, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 3. And they're going to bring out the field goal unit for a long field goal attempt. Not much wind this evening into the open end of the stadium. And it looks like we're looking at around a 51-yard attempt for David Cote. That's one way to get your season going.
This is a great opportunity for some situational football, as now you've got your long field goal unit out there. You've got a couple more athletic bodies. Due to it being a longer field goal, if it does go wide, you have to have bodies out there that are able to go down and cover.
Definitely has the distance, and it goes right through. What a leg from David Cote, giving the Owls a 10-7 lead with 2:42 left in the first quarter on TSN 690. Football on TSN 690. Preseason action. Alouettes have a 10-7 lead. 2 drives, 10 points. And it will be the Argos starting from their own 40 with 2:42 left here in the first quarter. Sean Campbell alongside Marco Bruyette.
We've already seen some wholesale changes here on the defensive side of the football, as it looks like most of the Alouettes starters may be done for the night.
Not bad. 12 and a half minutes of work.
Unfortunately, they don't get game checks in the preseason, so it would have been an easy night's work.
So we'll hear a couple new names, at least on the Owls defense. Cameron Duke still in there at quarterback in the pocket, now going up the middle. Intercepted! First play of the third series, and up the left side, it's Nafis Lyon crossing over the 30. First down, Montreal.
Tremendous individual effort by Nafis Lyons as he was playing in the back hip pocket of the Argos' intended receivers. Eyes on Duke the whole time. And as soon as that ball was released, Lyon cuts underneath, makes a great catch, and pretty solid return, as it looks like there is a discussion down there on the field. A flag.
We have our first flag of the game. Might have been on the tackle.
Great return by Lyon there, showing some ball skills.
After the interception, misconduct penalty, Toronto number 67. 10 yards will be applied from the other play. It's going to be first down for Montreal.
So it's at the 28, now it's at the 18.
Pénalité d'inconduite contre Toronto numéro 67. C'est une pénalité diverge, qui est appliquée de la fin du jeu. Premier essai pour Montréal.
And it looks like it's day over for Cody Fajardo. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Caleb Evans in at quarterback, Jeswan Antwi at running back. Tevin Jones still in the game at wide receiver. Caleb Evans on first down in the pocket. He'll go underneath to Antwi. Antwi cuts back towards the middle and then gets pushed out of bounds near the 15-yard line into the signage. Fans didn't like it, but that was fine. Second down upcoming.
Good patient read there by Caleb Evans off the play action. Now, off of a turnover, you've got all that momentum, all that excitement. Teams like to take a shot down the field, but Evans had nothing open. Didn't try to force anything down the field. The Alouettes are in scoring position after that Nafis Lyon interception. So Evans settles with checking it down to Antwi for a decent gain there on first down.
So Evans, 2nd and 5. In the pocket, he'll go to the outside. He's got Sibasu. Sibasu getting tackled near the first down marker, but he'll be a couple of yards short. Just inside the 10. Needed to get to the 7.5. And field goal units coming right back out. Turn that interception into 3 more. Late stages of the first quarter.
Another number change here for the 2024 season is Regis Sibasu goes back to his old college number 3. Looks a little slimming on him.
He looks in great shape. I don't know what you're saying.
6'3", 240. He's got that H-back tight end body type. Making a good catch there in traffic, but just unable to get enough for the first down.
Little chip shot for David Cote from inside the 20. He's 2 for 2. It's now 13-7. Alouettes lead. And the defense comes right back out there. And they'll start at the 40 with 51 seconds left in the first quarter.
Nafis Lyon interception turns into 3 points for the Montreal Alouettes. Nafis Lyon, part of the Montreal Alouettes secondary last year that played lights out almost all year long despite the rash of injuries and several guys playing in different spots, and that's something the coaches are looking for. Versatility, especially at the receiver and defensive back position. Can you play more than one spot out there?
Change of quarterback for the Argos as well, as they're thrown out in the flat, and they're going to say no catch or no catch. Owls recover the fumble, but no catch on the play.
The ruling on the field is incomplete pass. It's going to be second down.
So Nick Arbuckle comes in for Cameron Dukes.
Kind of an odd journey for Nick Arbuckle, who's backing up Bo Levi Mitchell in Calgary. After Mitchell went down with injury, Arbuckle had a lot of success, and then he signed a big deal with the Ottawa Redblacks a couple of seasons later. Didn't really work out for him. Spent some time in Edmonton as well, in Toronto, bounced around, was without a job until a couple of weeks ago, after the suspension to Chad Kelly was announced. The Argos making Arbuckle a late addition to training camp here in 2024, as Arbuckle was looking downfield, but ball falls short. It's a quick 2 and out for the Toronto Argos with just 3 seconds left in the opening quarter of this first preseason game. Alouettes leading 13-7.
Zeros on the clock. They need an extra player out there. They were short.
And so it begins. The chaos of the preseason.
Letcher Jr. steady back at his 25. Gatchus Lozada puts a high kick. Letcher has to come up to the 40. He'll grab it, and he'll get pushed out of bounds. Curious that there's... Oh, there is a flag. Sorry, the referee was in my way. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was no yards. So Owls will start air midfield when we come back. Through one quarter of play, they lead 13-7 on Toronto on TSN 690. Back on the field, but the day is done for Cody Fajardo. How about that for a start? 2 drives for Fajardo, 7 for 8, 107 yards, 1 touchdown, and looked pretty comfortable. Took a couple hits too. That's probably good for a quarterback to do.
Yeah, I think he probably was welcoming those. Just a little shot, make him feel alive, make him feel like he's not made of glass as he popped right back up. He looked sharp out there, made some great decisions, threw some good footballs, only 1 incompletion. A great play by the Toronto Argonauts defensive back on the pass breakup. Slant route intended for Tyson Philpott, as Fajardo is on the sideline. All smiles, as he'll be relegated to the role of being an extra set of eyes for the other quarterbacks on this Montreal roster. Caleb Evans, the CFL veteran, out there with the Montreal offense. He'll get the first crack at the backup quarterback position. Also returning in that quarterback room, Davis Alexander, whom this organization has been pretty excited about, despite Alexander only having 21 career passes in the CFL. He's done a good job impressing this coaching staff. He's hoping to earn himself that third spot on the quarterback depth chart.
Hand off to Antwi. Flag on the play as he's taken down 3 yards upfield. He's thrown almost instantly. The Alouettes are already back.
Montreal number 53. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down. Retenu contre Montréal numéro 53. Penalty diverge. On reprend le premier essai.
That's Philip Gagnon getting the hold, so it'll be 2nd and 20 as the ball's backed up to the Alouettes side of half at their own 47-yard line. Early stages of the second quarter, 13-7 Alouettes lead here at Percival Molson Stadium. Saw that Fajardo had that earpiece in. Wondering if he's listening to the coaches or listening to us here on TSN 690. How you doing, Cody? Evans gets it out to Antwi in the backfield. He's got some blockers in front of him. He'll get back to midfield and near the original line of scrimmage. So 2nd and about 11 as he's on this side of half. Got to watch out for these 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs. Antwi, a known punter.
Couple of teams across the CFL, they tried to shut it down. The old dribble punt for the first down, but the league making, in my opinion, the correct decision to keep that rule in effect, one of the quirky CFL rules.
4-man rush, got a sidearm throw. Evans gets it over to Lindsay. Lindsay gets tackled at the 50-yard line of the Argos. He'll be short of the first down. It's 3rd down. 7. And the Owls will bring out the punting unit for the first time today.
Speaking of quirky CFL rules, that's something that teams and coaching staffs have to be aware of during training camp. They'll usually spend a portion of each team meeting introducing some of these new American players to the rules of the CFL. We saw it on the last Toronto punt, actually. First year defensive back for the Argos, Leonard Johnson out of Duke, saw that the ball was hanging up in the air. He turned around and ran away from it. Didn't want to get caught inside of that 5-yard halo.
Yeah, it's no yards there against the Alouettes as Jordan Bird catches it around the 12-yard line. He'll get tackled as he crosses over the 20, but you can tack on some more yards on that one. It's another hanging punt, good one from Joseph Zima. 13-7 Alouettes lead here in the second quarter on TSN 690.
15-yard penalty. It's going to be first down for Toronto. Non-respect de l'unité. Montréal numéro 38. Penalty de 15 verges. Ça va être premier essai pour Toronto.
Second quarter, 12:51 remaining here at Percival Molson Stadium. Sean Campbell alongside Marc-Olivier Brouillette. Argos take over at the 26-yard line as the offense gets back to work. Their one touchdown pass. Cameron Dukes to Justin Marshall as Marc-Antoine Duquois had a chance at Dukes, but Dukes looks a little bit sneaky in that backfield and very elusive. He went on a couple of runs, but looks like his day is done as Nick Arbuckle is taken over at the quarterback position as he stands in the shotgun. He's got Deontay McMahon right behind him. And on first down, Arbuckle in the pocket. He'll be flushed. He'll throw it out to the far right side. McMahon will take it near his shoelaces and make a couple Alouettes miss and then fumble. And the ball is loose, and the Alouettes pick it up. Second turnover of the game by the Argos, and the Owls defense at it again. We do have an injured Owl on the field.
It's a great play by Alouettes' first-round draft pick, Jeffrey Conte Arku, who was able to run and set the edge. The Argos ball carrier made a jump cut inside, but Conte Arku doesn't give up on the play as he comes from behind, clubs down on the football, and knocks it loose. And that is the second turnover of the night for this Montreal defense, as Nigel Warrior, the rookie linebacker out of the University of Tennessee, was the injured Alouette on that play. But great effort there by Conte Arku. And speaking of Alouette's draft pick, free safety Arthur Hamlin came up with the fumble recovery.
There you go, Hamlin with the recovery. As Conte Arku with the forced fumble, and the Owls offense right back to work. And it's Davis Alexander at quarterback, and he'll get it out in the flat. And he'll get about a 4-yard gain. Far side of the field, Jose Barbon.
It's like an offside call against the Owls. The officials checking with Toronto head coach.
So take that catch from Barbon. So it'll be first and 15, moving the ball back to the 48-yard line. Davis Alexander. So maybe Caleb Evans' day's already done, or they'll go back and forth between the two. You mentioned it. Every time you mention Davis Alexander around Danny Machocha, there's excitement when he speaks about it.
I like him even more now that he's changed his number to 10 here for the 2024 season.
You like 10 on a quarterback, not a safety, right?
Big shoes to fill, though. A lot of pressure on Davis Alexander.
Throwing on first down, and he's just going to throw it right back to Barbon. That's Rambo on the far side, 76. Rambo, there's a solid name for a receiver. 76. Rambo with his first catch of the game.
CFL fans may remember Kenyon Rambo, the former Calgary Stampeder receiver. Solid CFL career.
Right back to the line for the Alouettes. 2nd and 6. And Davis Alexander, this time he gets it up to Barbon, and he'll make the catch. And that's good enough for a first down at the sideline. Pushed out of bounds at the 30. First down, Alouettes.
Good throw on the deep out to the wide side of the field there by Alexander, as Alouettes operating out of the no-huddle offense here. Great opportunity during the preseason to have some live fire reps in different situations like the no-huddle.
5 receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And Davis Alexander scrambling to his right. He'll find his man, and that's another 5 yards to the 25. Caught by Lindsay. 2nd and 5 upcoming. Davis Alexander looking very comfortable running this no-huddle offense for the Alouettes.
Yeah, look poised on that after pulling the ball on the play fake, rolling to his right. Alexander with 2 Argos defenders in his face, able to adjust the launch point on his throw there, get that ball out of his hands for some positive yardage on first down.
Sivasu comes in the backfield, comes in for protection, and there's Rambo with another catch right up the gut inside the 10. And tackled. First down, Montreal, 15 yards upfield. It'll be first and goal.
Charleston Rambo, his second catch of the drive out of the U. Finds a soft spot in the Argos secondary. Makes the catch, gets upfield quick. That pushes the ball inside of the 10-yard line. Alouettes looking to extend this lead with just under 10 minutes left in the opening half. Montreal leading the Argos 13-7.
In the shotgun, Davis Alexander takes the snap, looks to Antwi, And Antwi can't find that hole. He'll fall forward once he gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Been impressed so far on this drive by Alouettes rookie receiver Charleston Rambo. Long, lean body frame. Probably didn't feel so great about his chances of making the football team as he's out there wearing number 76. Not the type of news you like to get as a rookie receiver trying to make a roster here, but if he keeps playing like that, he may have an opportunity to make it and perhaps change that number somewhere down the line.
He's on the slot on the near side. Davis Alexander in the pocket. He'll step up. He'll go underneath to Antwi, and he'll get it to the 1. 3rd and goal upcoming. Davis Alexander could have went for a run, but he had the quick little pass to Antwi. And now he's waiting for the call from the sidelines. And here comes the Jumbo squad.
There was a member of the Alouettes coaching staff about 10 yards onto the field, gesturing that monster big team, get those big bodies out there, signaling that the Alouettes are going to go for it here on 3rd and short.
No one in the backfield, under center, Davis Alexander. He's going to go to the left, trying to find a hole. Touchdown, Montreal! On 3rd and goal, it's Davis Alexander.
You'd love to see that. A turnover turning into points earlier in the first quarter off the Nafis Lyon interception. Alouettes come away with a field goal, this time after the Kante Arku forced fumble. Davis Alexander leads this offense down the field and ends up punching it in himself on 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Good show by this Montreal offense so far in this football game.
David Cote lining up for the extra point. The holder is David Dallaire. He'll punch it through, and the Owls lead by 13, 20-7 with 7:57 left in the second quarter on TSN 690. Halfway through the second quarter, Alouettes with a 13-point lead here in preseason CFL action. Glad you could join us. First game of the year for the Owls. They'll be in action against the Red Blacks next Friday night. Marco and I will make that trip. Road trip again. David Cote on the kickoff. Drives this all the way back to the 12-yard line. Jordan Bird again. He'll be wrapped up as he crosses over the 30 and finally driven to the ground. It seems early on the Alouettes have definitely been the more aggressive of the two teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A lot of energy down on that Montreal sideline as veteran defensive end Brock Goenlock running down there on kickoff. Also sporting a new number that Alouettes fans may remember seeing along that defensive line. Number 9, previously worn by Anwar Stewart, the great Anwar Stewart.
Nick Arbuckle still in. He's got a 6-receiver set, 3 on each side. High snap, going right away on first down. He'll hit his man, Tommy Neild. Neild had a field day last year against the against the Alouettes defense for the Argos. He'll make that catch. Good for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 upcoming as the ball is moved to the 38-yard line.
Light rain here following at Percival Molson Stadium. So we've seen 2 off-target snaps from the Argos so far in this football game. One low one to Cameron Dukes in the first quarter. That one a little high to Arbuckle, but he's able to corral it.
He'll hand this off to McMahon, who will bounce out to the left side. He's got enough for a first down and more to midfield. And he's tackled at the Alouette 50. Solid run from Deontay McMahon. Fumbled on his last carry, but you could tell he had 2 hands on the football that time.
Showing some good speed there, getting outside and turning the corners. There's no Owls defender there to set the edge and force him back inside, as that'll kick the ball into Montreal territory. Ball spotted at the Alouettes 50-yard line.
5 receiver set. McMahon to the left of Arbuckle. Receivers in motion. Arbuckle looks right, throws left to McMahon. He's got a hole. He's got 10 yards and a little bit more, all the way to the Alouette 36-yard line. First down, Toronto.
Design tailback screen there on first down. Alouettes only rushing 3 down linemen. That allows those Argos offensive linemen to release and get upfield, creating some space for McMahon.
1st and 10 from the 36. Arbuckle resets his receivers. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. McMahon in the backfield. Now coming to the backfield for extra protection. Arbuckle's got a man on the far side of the field. That's going to be, the ball came loose after. They're going to say it was down by contact, that is. David Unger III with the catch. So it's enough. It's not a fumble. And into the red zone, the Argos go from the 16-yard line.
Good confident throw there by Arbuckle. Alouettes bring pressure off the edge, but well picked up by the Toronto Argonauts protection scheme as Arbuckle finds Ungerer on the outside on the deep comeback route.
That was close to being a fumble, but they said he was down. And the snap has been made, so play continues. McMahon, handoff. Get up a yard or 2 inside the 15. 2nd and long upcoming. 2 yards on first down. Good drive by the Argos and Arbuckle. 20-7, Alouettes lead. Less than 5 to go here in the second quarter.
Arbuckle trying to stake his claim for the Argos starting quarterback job during the absence of Chad Kelly. Now the suspension is 9 games, but there are conditions to his reinstatement into the CFL.
Arbuckle gets hit as he's throwing. The ball is loose. It's picked up by the Owls, but they're going to call incomplete pass. The Demi Lola was ready to take it to the house, but on 2nd down, the pocket collapsed on Arbuckle. It'll be incomplete, and the field goal unit will come out for the Argos.
Looked like that ball hit the back of the helmet of Isaiah Cage. The Argos, sorry, that was 68, not 66. Darda Lee got a ball to the back of the helmet, the Argos right tackle.
Another late substitution. Less than 10 to go on the play clock. 21-yard field goal attempt. Choose Lozada. He'll punch that through, and now it is a 10-point lead for the Alouettes, 20-10 with 3:36 remaining here in the second quarter. Alouettes offense ready to come right back out. We have a flag on the play as the referees are not moving just yet, but all the players have gone back to the
sideways when the Montreal Alouettes came to town. Chad Kelly, Argonauts quarterback and CFL 2023 MOP, probably his worst outing of his career in the CFL. As the Alouettes were able to come out of Toronto with a win, punch their ticket to the Grey Cup, and the rest is history.
I always go back to that first drive where the Argos drove it all the way to a first and goal, and then it was the pick six from Marc-Antoine Dubois, and that just set the tone for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. That Montreal defense, really the backbone of this football team, coming up big when they needed them.
So they'll do it again, this time from 5 yards back. 26-yard attempt for Gatchuz Lozada, who's just getting in the reps right now, and he puts it right through. So it's 20-10 with 3:14 remaining. And the Alouettes offense will take over.
Looks like he got a little bit of help there from the left goal post as he banked that one in. Now Alouettes deciding whether they'll take the football at the 40 or send out their kickoff return team. Now you got to remember, this is the preseason. They do want to get as many reps on tape as they can of special teams so they can evaluate these guys.
It looks like they're going to choose the kickoff.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, just look at the amount of bodies over there on the Montreal sideline. You want to give everybody an opportunity here tonight, especially those that might be on the bubble. You're not sure if they're going to be around for next week's game in Ottawa, so you try and give them as many opportunities as possible to show what they can do out there on the field. See the Alouettes return team lining up out there on the field. A couple of new returners back there for the Alouettes. It looks like James Letcher's night is over. We'll have Walter Fletcher as the off returner. Meanwhile, it'll be rookie receiver out of Oregon State, Tylen Lindsey, only 5'8", 187.
And it's going to go to the off back. Fletcher. Sorry, that's Lindsey, that is. Lindsey gets it. And he makes one man miss, and he'll cut against the grain, and that's always tough to do at the CFL. He'll get tackled at the 30. Saw that elusiveness to Lindsey's game.
Like the Owls were trying to set up that field side return, but good job by the Argos setting the edge and forcing that back inside, as it'll be Davis Alexander who makes his way out onto the field with the Montreal offense. Now, Caleb Evans had replaced Fajardo earlier in the second quarter, but after going 3 for 4, 24 yards, it's been all Davis Alexander since.
Receivers in motion. And it's going to be a handoff on first down. Short gain for the Alouettes. As the Alouettes will hit the 3-minute warning. 2:41 remaining with a 10-point lead. Second and long upcoming on TSN 690. to Percival Molson Stadium. Sean Campbell, Marco Brouillan. 2:41 left in the second quarter. Alouettes lead 20-10 on the Argos. At quarterback is Davis Alexander, their third quarterback of the game. Al's quarterbacks, only 2 incompletions. New running back as well. It was Sean Thomas Erlington getting the carry for 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 upcoming. Alouettes at their own 32. Receivers in motion. He's got 5. Alexander in the pocket. He's going to scramble to the right. He's got a man underneath, and there's a hard hit on Thomas Erlington. And it's going to be 3rd down, and the Owls will have to punt it away.
Jonathan Edward, the Argos defensive back, putting a big hit on Thomas Erlington, who had a carry on 1st down, a catch on 2nd down, but neither of those plays enough for an Alouettes 1st down, as it's a quick 2 and out. And Joseph Zima will make his way out there with the Alouettes punt unit.
Zima standing back at his own 18-yard line. Jordan Bird at the 29 of the Argos. Zima lets it go. High kick. Bird has to come up. He'll catch it at the 40. Looks like no yards. And it will be no yards as he's tackled right away at the 44. So you could tack on a couple more for the Argos and their offense, as Nick Arbuckle still leads that team out onto the field with less than 2 to go here in the second quarter.
Looks like that one's going to go against Alouettes rookie defensive back Mason Clark.
That's so
no
tough.
yards. Montreal. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st down for Toronto. Non-respect de l'immunité contre Montréal. Penalty de 15 verges. Premier essai Toronto.
So it moves the ball to the 54-yard line, pretty much right at the midfield stripe. But when it's a short, high kick like that in your coverage team, you don't know exactly where that ball is. And you're trying to get out of the halo, but sometimes you just can't.
Yeah, silver lining, though, is that these young guys got the message. They took the coaching. They realized what the rules are here in the CFL. He made an effort to get out of that halo, but unfortunately for Clark, just wasn't able to do it, and the Argos will get good starting field position on this drive.
Arbuckle incomplete, looking for Neild on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Bryce Cosby in tight coverage there for the Alouettes. As we haven't seen weak side linebacker Nigel Warrior come back since that Alouettes turnover, the forced fumble from Conte Arku. And looking back at the replay, it looked like Warrior was the victim of a non-contact injury.
Arbuckle on 2nd and 10 in the pocket, throwing to the sidelines, and nice defensive play. Provon LeBlanc knocks that away. It's 3rd down. It's a 2 and out for the Argos.
Good drive for this Montreal secondary as they get back-to-back pass breakups. So despite the good starting field position, the Argos offense stalls. They're forced to punt it back to the Alouettes here with less than 2 minutes left in the opening half.
See what kind of return Lindsay can get as he backs up to his own 12-yard line. Kicker and punter choose was out a low kick. It's going to hit a body, and Lindsay will have to pick that up, and he'll find a hole. But he'll get tackled before the 30. Flag on the play.
No yards. Toronto number 41. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st down for Montreal.
Again, that's just a tough one on coverage, Marco, because it was a low driving kick. And Lindsay had to come up. He played it off the bounce quite nicely. So the Alouettes will get it at their own 30, or if they decided to place this, 36-yard line. 1:35 left here in the second quarter. Owls up by 10. Caleb Evans back in at quarterback. Had a feeling they were going to switch back and forth. Thomas Erlington in the backfield. Caleb Evans takes the snap, throwing right away. It's popped up in the air, almost intercepted. He was looking for Lindsay. Nice defensive play, jumping the route. That was Leonard Johnson getting a hand on it.
All hitches across the board. Evans trying to squeeze it in that window just a little too tight.
5-man rush. Evans in the pocket. He's in trouble, and he gets sacked. Back at his own 25. Just no time in that pocket. As he was absolutely swallowed up. That's a 2-and-out. The punting unit is coming out. This final 3 minutes is full of 2-and-outs as we try and reach halftime.
Jordan Williams, the Argos defensive tackle, coming right up the middle. Evans nowhere to hide as he gets swallowed up. Forced to take the sack, and after a quick 2-and-out, Argos could have some good field position here as Zima's lined up at his own 13-yard line waiting for the snap.
Just over a minute to go in this first half. Zima gets this up, another high kick. Bird will get it back at his 33. He'll survey. Now he'll just stagger step and work his way to the 40 before he's swallowed up. First down Toronto from their own 40 with less than a minute to go. 54 seconds left on the clock.
Great play by Mason Clark there by the Alouettes. On the last punt, he got flagged for the 15-yard no yards. This time, he runs down. He had an Argos blocker on him, but uses that stiff arm to create some space, defeats the block, and makes the tackle on the Argos return man. Great special teams play there by Clark.
4 for 9 so far for Nick Arbuckle. He's got less than a minute to go to get his team into scoring range. Puts his receivers in motion. Arbuckle steps back in the pocket, well protected. He'll go up the middle, and he's got a man up at midfield. It's Richie Sindani with the catch. First down Argos, and they'll be quick to the line.
Sindani lined up in the slot to the right of Arbuckle. Just a dig route right through the middle soft spot of that Montreal defense.
Clock is wound. Receivers in motion. Arbuckle throwing right away, and it's almost picked off by Nafis Lyon. He tried to jump the route on Neal. However, it was thrown back over to Sindani, and that's good enough for a first down.
All hitches by the Argos receivers, and Lions tried to get in that throwing lane.
Good choice to throw to Sindani and not Neal, because Lyon had Neal covered on that one. So 1st and 10 into Al territory. It's Sindani for the third time in a row. Defeats Lyon with the tackle, but again, close to a first down, and the Argos are moving the ball. 25 seconds left on the clock before halftime.
Good recognition by Arbuckle there as the Alouettes were coming with the zero pressure. Free man off the edge of the line of scrimmage. Arbuckle able to get the ball out of his hands and to his receiver.
20 seconds and ticking. Arbuckle takes the snap. Looking deep downfield, and he overthrows. Looks a little confusion on the route since Sindani was very close to his teammate in the corner. That was Shropshire. But he overthrew his man, so it's 2nd and 10 with 12 seconds left. Argos in field goal range at the Owls' 34-yard line.
A little bit of confusion on the left side there for the Argos receiving corps as they had the corner route from the slot back, but then a go route on the outside. Both Argos receivers ending up in the same vicinity there.
5 receivers, 4 Arbuckle in the pocket, steps up, looking downfield, but he's going to go for a run, and then he'll slide just inside the 30, feet first with 5 seconds left, allowing the field goal unit to come out onto the field. Barring any flags, this is likely going to be the last play of the first half.
Good decision there by Alouettes defender Jalen Moody as Arbuckle was scrambling and slid. Moody didn't take a free shot on the quarterback. Gave him a little bit of a shoulder, but not enough to draw a flag as the emphasis has been put on player safety and protecting the quarterbacks, especially across the CFL.
Gachuz Lozada from 35 yards out. He'll put this up and through with zeros on the clock. The Alouettes will take the lead into halftime, 20-13, after the Argos get the last 3 points. Last 3 minutes took a while, but pretty eventful first half, Marco.
Absolutely. I think the Alouettes starters look solid, especially on the offensive side of the football. Cody Fajardo only 1 incompletion, 2 scoring drives in a quarter of work here tonight against the Toronto Argos. And on the defensive side of the football, Nafis Lyon coming up with a big interception for that Alouettes defense. Now, they did give up a touchdown. Marc-Antoine Dequoy, Alouettes free safety, had a shot at taking...
We're going to take the Preseason Futures Challenge on CFL Game Zone. We'll see in November how we fare. Which team will win the Eastern Final?
Hamilton Tiger.
Ooh, I actually was thinking along the same line. Which team will win the Western Final?
We're going to go with the BC Lions. Third time is the charm over there.
Who's going to lead in receiving touchdowns?
All great options? We'll go with Tim White.
There's a couple options that aren't on here, whether it's Tom Rhimes or Kenny Lawler or Nick Dembski. So I'm going to take the field. Which team will win the 111th Grey Cup?
Might have to be the BC Lions.
I also am picking the BC.
In BC.
That's our picks. Don't like our picks? Go make your own. Head to gamezone.cfl.ca to play preseason futures today. Don't delay. Get your picks in by June 6th for your chance at a CFL Suite experience. We're going to take the preseason futures challenge on CFL Game Zone. We'll see in November how we fare.
Demi, dis-moi comment ça s'est passé dans le
Ça va bien pour le moment. C'est le fun de voir l'ambiance à Montréal. À cause de la Coupe Grey l'an passé, ils sont en feu, puis c'est juste une game pré-saison. Ça fait du bien d'être à la maison.
Ouais, t'as passé bien près de réussir un échappé provoqué. Décris-moi le jeu. Tu t'es amené sur le but. Malheureusement, bon pour toi, on a joué que c'était le passé.
It all boiled down to whether the Owls decide to dress 2 or 3 quarterbacks throughout this season. But both of them look sharp so far in the first half of this football game. Davis Alexander, a perfect 6 for 6, 48 yards, looked very efficient out there, drove the Alouettes offense down to the 1-yard line, and then on 3rd and goal from the 1, Alexander takes it in himself, and I expect that the two will rotate back and forth during the third quarter of this football game before eventually letting newcomer James Morgan into the football game to take over, and we'll see what he's got. I mean, you can never have too many talented quarterbacks.
Well, I remember it was a preseason where you and I looked at each other and said, who's this Davis Alexander guy? We really like him. And it was because you really saw what he was able to do at the end of a football game. So maybe we'll be able to do that with James Morgan if he gets an opportunity later on in the game. Before we wrap up halftime here, Alouettes up 20-13, TSN 690, Sean Campbell, Marco Briette. What can we expect here in the second half of a preseason game when there's going to be no starters left?
Yeah, I think we're going to see less explosive plays, a couple more mistakes, guys running onto the field late, a lot of punts, a lot of special teams. But, hey, that's just part of it. This is an opportunity for those guys to get evaluated, and everybody's trying to put their best foot forward. So for those young guys, it's just try to limit the mistakes, have poise in the noise, and when your opportunity comes, take it and run with it in hopes of cracking this roster this year.
Yeah, don't make any mistakes. Don't make this game longer than it needs to be, right, Marco?
Listen, this is way past my bedtime. I'm usually in bed reading my book by 9 o'clock, so...
Well, that's because you're a freak and you wake up and you go in the cold tub at 4:30 in the morning.
Hey, it's better than a cup of coffee. It'll jolt you wide awake, I tell you. You know what? I'm trying to find a way to take it on the road with us this year, have it in my hotel room.
I know you'll find a way to do the cold tub in the hotel room. Check out his Instagram. It's halftime, 20-13. Alouettes lead the Toronto Argonauts. The players are coming back on the field. We'll be back with third quarter action on TSN 690.
We're going to take the preseason futures challenge on CFL Game Zone. We'll see in November how we fare. Which team will win the Eastern Final?
Hamilton Tigers.
Ooh, I actually was thinking along the same line. Which team will win the Western Final?
We're going to go with the BC Lions. Third time is the charm over there.
Who's going to lead in receiving touchdowns?
All great options. I'll go with Tim White.
There's a couple options that aren't on here, whether it's Tom Rhymes or Kenny Lawler or Nick Dembski. So I'm going to take the field. Which team will win the 111th Grey Cup?
Might have to be the BC Lions.
I also am picking the BC.
In BC.
In BC. That's our picks. Don't like our picks? Go make your own. Head to gamezone.cfl.ca to play preseason futures today. Don't delay. Get your picks in by June 6th for your chance at a CFL Suite experience.
So good for them.
Couple less bodies. Alouettes with the advantage of being at home here for the opening preseason game. But next week, or over the next week, there will be some roster cuts across the CFL as teams will need to trim down their rosters.
Just makes it a little easier to manage too, right? For training camp and getting everybody to where they need to do. And then you could really zero in and target. Doesn't mean that, like we said, doesn't mean if you get cut, you're not going to call back. Reggie Stubblefield didn't make the team out of training camp last year.
Yeah, and so you look at the impact that he had on this Montreal football team and their run to the Grey Cup as Stubblefield has now established himself as the starting strong side linebacker on this Alouettes defensive position that was played by, off of the top of my head, I would say at least 4 or 5 guys throughout the 2023 season. Last mainstay to play that spot for the Alouettes, the great Chip Cox.
Yeah, no one played except for him. He didn't miss a game, ever. And even if it was preseason, you'd have to drag him off the field. That guy loved football.
To this day, I think Chip Cox is probably pound for pound one of, if not the best athletes I've ever been around. Just speed, strength, explosiveness, a nose for the football. He was just always around it. Yeah. It was crazy. If there was a fumble, Chip Cox was there. He could have been in the bathroom when the fumble was caused, but somehow it ended up in his hands, and he was running it back to the end zone.
That doesn't make sense, but it does if you know Chip Cox. We're ready for the third quarter. Agachu's Lasada puts this up, and Lindsay back at his own 15 will take it. He'll burst his speed to the 30 and find a hole, hop over a player, and get tackled at the 37-yard line. And the Alouettes offense right back on the field. And it's Davis Alexander at quarterback for his second stint.
Interesting to see if the Alouettes put a little bit of focus on the ground game so that they can start evaluating some of these running backs on the roster, as only 2 carries for Walter Fletcher in that first half, 1 for Sean Thomas Erlington, 1 for Antwi. Other than that, Davis Alexander on the quarterback sneak for a touchdown during that second quarter.
Stevie Scott is in the backfield, just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and may have lost a yard. He's a framed running back that is similar to William Stanback.
That's the comparison that he's been getting since his arrival here in Montreal, listed at 6'1", 222 pounds, the former Indiana Hoosier. If you know anything about the University of Indiana, they like to run the football.
He's standing to the right of Davis Alexander, 5 receiver set on 2nd and 11. Alexander's in trouble in the backfield. He'll scramble to his right, hops over a couple diving defensive linemen, get to the sideline, and just throw the ball away. It'll be 3rd down. And a 2-and-out, the Owls will have to punt. But good elusiveness from Davis Alexander, trying to buy time for its receivers downfield, just couldn't find anybody. And great pursuit by the Argos.
I like the decision there by Alexander, not trying to force anything down the field, making the smart decision of throwing that one to the sideline and living to fight another day, not forcing a ball downfield that could result in an interception or put his defense in a tough spot.
New punter alert for the Alouettes, Sam Clark. At his own 21. Driving kick. Jordan Bird backs up to the 29. He'll cut to his left. Get away from a tackle, but then swallowed up at the 25, trying to cut against the grain. They're going to mark him down at the 26, so he'll actually lose yards from where he caught that football. That was a nice kick from Sam Clark. Good pursuit and coverage by the Alouettes. Special teams, and this is where these young players, newbies, can impress the coach with good coverage on a punt team.
Well played there by Alouettes rookie defensive back out of Laval, Maxim Lavallee, as the Argos were trying to set up the return to the field, but Lavallee sets the edge, creates a pile, allowing his teammates to get down there and take the Argos return man down as referee.
There's a ball on the field, I think.
This is that one dead. It was just a test for the ref. It looked like somebody just threw a ball out there in the end zone to see if they'd noticed it or not.
Ryan Scott in at quarterback for the Argos. Take the snap, and he'll hand that off, and Alouettes on top of that. Short run on first down for the Toronto.
Good physical play there by Al's defensive end, Aaron Lynch, who takes on the double team, forcing that ball back inside into a sea of Alouettes defenders. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Argos here on their first possession of the second half.
It was LeBourne with the carry. Scott puts his receivers in motion. He's got 3 to his right. Blitz coming, and it's knocked down at the line. Alouettes lineman got his hands up in the air. Devon Bennett putting some pressure up. Something we saw a whole lot from the Alouettes last year, but he's not with the team right now.
And he's got the Alouettes have their work cut out for them, trying to find a replacement for Ugwak and potentially for Sean Lemon, pending what will happen and his appeal of his indefinite suspension.
And here's a punt from the Argos. He bobbles it a little bit near the sideline, and now he's coming across field from the left to right if he can get the edge, but he's backed up at least 10 yards now. Now they'll have some blockers, and they'll get pushed out of bounds and maybe gain a yard after going sideline to sideline at the 31. It's 20-13, Alouettes lead here in the third quarter with 12:03 remaining on TSN 690. Early stages of the third quarter, up by 7, 20-13. One touchdown pass from Cody Fajardo. The other one was a quarterback sneak from Davis Alexander. See if the Alouettes can get that run game going. You mentioned it. Not much running in the first. A lot of throwing. Jason Moss. Well, we got a new running back in. And Caleb Evans back at quarterback, and he's got Stevie Scott. The third to his left in play action. Caleb Evans rolling to his left. And nice little play finds Bowman at the 48. That's good enough for a first down, Montreal. Nice little route.
I tell you what, that was an athletic throw by Caleb Evans. Full speed, rolling to his left. Argo defender in hot pursuit. Evans on the run, able to get those shoulders around just enough to get an accurate ball off towards the sideline. Good-looking throw by the Montreal quarterback.
Lots of motion. It's going to be a handoff to Stevie Scott. He's got a little bit of room on the left side, but he gets swallowed up. He was looking for the hole. A little diversion, Stevie Scott. But he'll get 3 yards. 2nd and 7 upcoming as he gets the ball up to the 46.
Very similar look to Stanback, not only stature-wise, but the towel, the tape on the elbows. Similar look to the former number 31, now with the BC Lions.
Stevie Scott wearing number 35. Low snap, blitz coming. Caleb Evans throwing. He's got a man, and there's Bowman again near the first down marker. And midfield, that'll be enough for a first down. Ramon Bowman with a couple catches. Rumor has it that Danny Machocha calls him Scotty.
I'll tell you what, that was quite a throw by Evans. Had a little heat on it.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, and he found the open man, so great reading of the defense from Caleb Evans. New set of downs, midfield. Sivasu comes in the backfield. He'll stay in to protect. There's Evans again towards the sidelines. Just outside the outstretched arms of his receiver. Jalen Wayne was trying to get his hands on it.
Good tight coverage by Argo's defensive back, Amani Dennis.
2nd and 10 from midfield. 10-minute mark of the third quarter. Alouettes up by 7. Caleb Evans. He's got Stevie Scott to his left. 4-man rush. Evans in trouble. He has to spin back. And now he'll make some space for himself. He points downfield. Pump fakes. Now he's going to go for a run for himself. But he'll take a hard hit. Gain 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down. Good elusiveness from the quarterback Evans to get out into the backfield. He was trying to find a receiver downfield, but nothing opened up, and the punting unit will come out.
Evans, a dangerous runner. We saw a lot of it during his time with the Red Blacks. Had an opportunity to start quite a few games there. Able to avoid the rush, turn the corner, but just not enough for a first down. Slow offensive start here in the second half of this football game,
which we expected with a lot of the backups trying to find their groove. Sam Clark back ready to punt. Puts this up. Bird waiting at his 9-yard line. He'll pop out to the right. He's got a lane. Can he get to the sidelines? Jordan Bird pushed out of bounds at the 31. A great burst of speed from the Argo returner. And Argos will take over from their own 31. 20-13. Owls lead. 8:51 left in the third on TSN 690. Time for the Alouettes defense to get back to work. Argos starting from their own 31. Brian Scott in at quarterback. They're to their third quarterback of the game. Third quarter action, 8:51 remaining. Alouettes up 20-13. Been a fun football game. Been fun to be back here at Percival Molson Stadium. We'll be back on June 20th for the Owls home opener. A little road trip, finish off the preseason to Ottawa, and then they start on the road, Winnipeg and Edmonton before coming back. The training camp resumes all week up in St. Jerome. Receivers in motion for the Argos. Scott throwing off first down. He's got his man just short of the first down. It'll be second and short.
A little bit of a shuffle in the Alouettes secondary as Nafis Lyons out on the corner. We saw him play a little bit of halfback in this football game as well. Meanwhile, Crevon LeBlanc, who started the game at the field side corner, now slides inside to the halfback position. Alouettes coaching staff trying to see if these guys can play in different spots in that secondary.
They're going to hand off to LeBorn. And it looks like he's going to be short on second down. It was 2nd and 1.5, and I only think he got the half, so it's 3rd and 1 from their own 40. Argos have a decision to make.
Good physical play there by the Alouettes defense. Great job by linebacker Latavius Brinney, scraping over the top, matching the Argos ball carrier step for step and meeting him right near the line of scrimmage, stopping him in his tracks. Argos leaving their offense out here on 3rd and what looks like less than 1 yard.
Scott's going to go under center. Owls creep in. Scott pushing forward. I have no idea where they're going to mark him. Flag on the play, so the Owls possibly lined up offside. There's a lot of movement because he started in the shotgun, came down to the line, didn't get the greatest push. But I think the Owls, they crept in and were probably offside.
On the Montreal defensive line. It's a 5-yard penalty. Makes it a first down for Toronto. Hors-jeu. La ligne défensive de Montréal. C'est une pénalité de 5 verges. Ça donne un premier essai à Toronto.
So first down, Argos, and that'll move the ball to the 45-yard line.
It's hard enough for CFL veterans to respect that 1 yard and line up onside in those short yardage situations. But
I bet even in the video room when you're showing a guy who lines up offside, the guy's like, I'm not offside, I'm a yard off. No, that was less than a yard. New set of downs for the Argos. Less than 7 to go here in the third quarter. Scott barking orders, puts his receivers in motion. He pulls up the ball and then knocked down. Well done. As Jalen Moody gets a hand on that, as Scott was trying to throw around him.
That was a great individual play by Moody there. Moody playing the shuffle technique on the edge of the line. Now he gives a little shove to the bender, taking him off of his path, and then he manages to get right in the throwing lane to knock that one down. Good job there by the Alouettes defender.
Right, Scott puts his receivers in motion. It's going to be 2nd and 10. He's being pushed out to his right. He'll go underneath to LeBorn. He'll make one Alouette miss, but he is very short of that first down. It'll be 3rd and 6, and the punting unit is already jogging out of the field for Toronto.
And that was Moody again, who was able to sift his way through the Toronto Argos blockers. He recognizes the screen pass getting set up, forces LeBorn back inside to his help. And Alouettes defense does the rest, keeping LeBorn way short of the first down marker, and the Alouettes will get the football back.
Low punt. Lindsay grabs it at his 15. He'll get tackled right away at the 20. That's Jeremy Edwards in punting for the Argos. Long field ahead for the Alouettes. 5:43 left in the third. They're up by 7, 20-13 on TSN 690. Welcome back to Percival Molson Stadium. Third quarter. Still no points in this third quarter after a 20-13 lead at halftime. It's still that with 5:43 left. Owls will start from their own 21. Davis Alexander checks back in at quarterback. Stevie Scott in the running back position, standing over his right shoulder. Alexander taking the snap, throwing on first down. He's got a man upfield. Nice grab by Bowman. Come on, Bowman, all the way up to the 42. He's looked sharp.
Good looking throw there, right down the right side seam from Davis Alexander, who finds his man, and he'll operate with the no huddle offense here with just over 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, he was doing that in the second quarter. Looks very comfortable with it. And he'll pull the ball and throw it back over to Bowman. He kind of stumbles over his own feet, falls down at the 50, gets right back up because no one touched him, and get 2 more yards and pushed out of bounds. He took it coming out of the backfield, turned upfield, tripped on the turf, laid down for half a second, popped right back up and got 2 more yards. So that'll be a 9-yard gain pending this flag.
And some of those NCAA guys coming up to Canada, or the pro game for that matter, not familiar with the rule that you got to be touched once you're down, or else you can get back up and keep going.
After the play, we have 2 misconduct fouls. Toronto number 16, Montreal number 76. They balance out. It's going to be second down. Après le jeu, il y a 2 pénalités d'inconduite. Toronto 16, Montréal 76. Les pénalités s'annulent. Ça va être deuxième essai.
So that's Charleston Rambo who is blocking. He gets the flag. So 2nd and 1. Davis Alexander under center. And there'll be flags on the play. Even if he doesn't get the yardage, they'll get the 5 for the offside, and that'll move the ball into Argo territory.
Similar to what we saw in the last Argo possession in a similar situation.
Offside, Toronto defensive line. It's a 5-yard penalty. Makes it a first down for Montreal.
Argo's defenders lined up offside.
I like seeing Davis Alexander work this push as the quarterback, but I don't know if he's going to be the guy for the Alouettes for short yardage if you have Caleb Evans part of the team.
Yeah, unfortunately for Davis Alexander, 6 foot 200, and that's generous in my opinion, having been near him. Not quite the prototypical short yardage quarterback frame.
Extra lineman, Sibasu down on the line, but thrown on first down over to Lindsay, and he's got some blockers, turns upfield, pumping his legs up to the 46. It'll be 2nd and short for the Owls. Best drive of the second half for either team as we approach the 4-minute mark of the third quarter.
Good block by Alouettes receiver Charleston Rambo downfield. So he was able to create a little bit of space for his teammate, Tylen Lindsay. Lindsay, who's been the return man for the most part of this football game, showing some ability with the football in his hands there on the wide receiver screen.
5 receivers set for Davis Alexander. They're going to hand it off to Stevie Scott. He'll go up the middle and should be enough for a first down. That'll move the chains. First down, Montreal.
Good little pause step there by Scott, able to make the defender stop his feet, and then Scott lowers his shoulder and knifes inside, getting just enough yardage for an Alouettes first down as the clock continues to tick.
Alouettes will huddle this time for Davis Alexander. Sibasu in the slot with Bowman to his right. Scott goes out as receiver, and then Davis Alexander just misses his man Rambo at the sidelines. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Argo 43.
Just looked like a misfire there from Alexander, as it was all hitches to the left side of that Montreal offense. But
a very rare incompletion from the Owls today. It's only their 6th one from all 3 quarterbacks. And we're almost here in the fourth quarter. 2:30 left here in the third. 2nd and 10. Davis Alexander in the pocket, 4-man rush. He's got to scramble, and he'll shovel that forward for Stevie Scott, but that's not going to be enough for a first down, only for a couple of yards. Alexander decided to run it, and as he got close to the line of scrimmage, he threw it to Scott's hands, and Scott had nowhere to run. It's 3rd down, and the field goal unit's coming out.
Yeah, luckily, Scott kept eyes on his quarterback. I thought he was maybe going to turn up field and try and lead block for Alexander, but now his quarterback had different plans as he just shoveled it over to Stevie Scott the third, but just a short gain, and the Owls will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
46 yards for Jose Maltos. Maltos punches this up and makes it through by a couple of yards, but it's good enough for 3, and the Owls lead is back up to 10, 23-13, 1:41 left in the third on TSN 690. By 10, 23-13 on the Argos. 1:41 left in the third quarter. Sean Campbell alongside Marc-Olivier Brouillette. Looking forward to spending the season with you here on TSN 690. CF Montreal in action tonight. They came to a 0-0 draw against Nashville as they end their losing skid but can't get back on the winning track. Lots of sports this time of year. Every time I turn my head, there's something else on TV, Marco. But now I'm just glad the CFL is back.
I'm right there with you.
Scott in at quarterback for the Argos. They'll hand that off to LeBourne, and he's got a lane on the left side, and he gets up to midfield as he rolls off a tackler. And that's a good 17-yard run, but it looks like this is coming back.
Yeah, I think there may have been a hold there on the left side of the line of scrimmage.
10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Yeah, that is receiver Kevin Mattal. Had himself quite the season.
Mattal, the first-round pick out of Laval.
So that'll back everything up 10 yards to the 30. And 1st and 20, Argos.
LeBourne did show some good vision and acceleration on that first down carry.
Now we know why the hole was so big. 1st and 20, Scott looking to throw, far side of the field, and finds Sindani, but I think that one hopped into his hands. So it'll be 2nd and 20, Argos.
Almost looked like Scott lacked a bit of confidence throwing the ball out there. I don't know if he was seeing ghosts because he had an open man, but just as the ball was leaving his hand, it looked like he was kind of held back on it a little bit there. And as you mentioned, it ends up one-hopping to his receiver. Argos in a tough spot here, facing a 2nd and 20.
And Scott's going to scramble, move forward, throw downfield. He's got a man wide open. That's Jordan Bird up at midfield, 2nd and 20, and he got 25. First down, Toronto. Good job by Scott in the pocket to create time and space and looking downfield at the same time, and Bird was wide open.
Impressive throw and awareness there by Scott, as after breaking that tackle, he's a little off balance, nearing the line of scrimmage, but still able to get that ball off and downfield to Bird for the first down completion.
Scott again in the pocket now, in trouble, and he'll scramble himself and go for a run. Flag on the play, and he dives forward 14 yards down the field. We'll see what the flag is. Brian Scott using his legs.
Looks like that might be an illegal contact against Al's defensive back, Miles Brooks.
They'll decline that illegal contact, and that'll be 3/4 in the books. The Argos are driving all the way up to the Alouette 40-yard line. It's 23-13 on TSN 690. Marco, your water's there. Percival Molson Stadium. Alouettes lead by 10, 23-13. Preseason action. Argos trying to figure out their quarterback situation with Chad Kelly being suspended for the first 9 games of the season. And right now it's Brian Scott getting an opportunity. He's using his legs, and that seems to be working. He had a 2nd and 20, but found Jordan Bird 25 yards down the field to keep this drive alive as the Argos are moving into Al's territory at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10.
Scott, the second-year man out of Occidental College.
Occidental College, where would that be?
I had to Google that one, folks. Beautiful Los Angeles, California, though. I'm going to bet it was a pretty nice campus.
4 receivers to the left of Scott. 3 in the slot. In motion. Hands it off to Laybourne, but he goes nowhere. Alouettes read that play from the get-go as Brock Gowanlock all on top of him. And that'll be a loss of 5. 2nd and 15 upcoming. Back at the 45. And this is an interesting spot because you're just on the brink of field goal range. So you want to get some yards, but you'd love to get a first down.
We saw the Argos convert a 2nd and extra long earlier on this drive as Scott was able to scramble, break a tackle in the backfield, and find a man downfield.
Scott, he's got Zindani, and he drops it. Zindani looked upfield as he was trying to make that grab, so it's 3rd and 15 from the 45, and decision time for the Argos.
to add insult to injury, Cincinnati took a hit from Alouettes defensive back Miles Brooks after dropping that football. And looks like the Argos will opt to punt here, trying to pin the Alouettes deep in their own zone. Montreal hanging on to a 10-point lead here.
The field position game in preseason CFL football. Let's go. Lindsay backs up to his 7-yard line as Jeremy Edwards drives the punt, and this will go bounce into the end zone, but Lindsay will grab it off of bounds and step out. And there's going to be a flag on the play as he's tackled around the 12. So we'll see what this flag is. It's an interesting choice from Lindsay to play that football.
During the return, illegal block, Montreal number 38. We'll go back half the distance. It's going to be first down for Montreal. Pendant le retour, bloc illégal, Montréal 38. On va reculer la moitié de la distance. Ça va être premier essai pour Montréal.
We have a couple 38s to choose from if you want that to be Jacob Mason or Smoke Monday. But the Alouettes will be starting from their own 2-yard line after that illegal block. Another reason why maybe Lindsay should have let that one bounce through the end zone.
It makes you wonder what his instructions were from the sideline, whether it was to take it out at all costs or he was just freestyling out there trying to make a play.
Caleb Evans, and the Alouettes are in trouble, and we might have a safety. Did he get across the goal line? He was tackled in the end zone. The referees are conferring, and they're saying he got to the 1-yard line.
It's going to be second down at the 1-yard line. Deuxième essai à la ligne de une verge.
As Caleb Evans was in, and he handed it off, and the Alouettes were trying to bounce it out to the right side. And Weber just crossed the goal line. He'll lose a yard. They'll move it up to the 1-yard line, but if he did, it was very close.
Looked like he wanted to cram it inside, but penetration from the Argos there forced him to try and bounce it, but he bounced it right into the arms of another Argos defender, and that poses a challenge here for this Montreal offense as the benches here at Percival Molson Stadium are on the same side, and so the Montreal offense is as far as they can possibly be from the Montreal bench right now, and so that creates some challenges as far as getting the right personnel and play call out there on the field. And in a situation like this on your own 1-yard line, Jason Moss opting to take the time out to make sure everybody's on the same page as they try and convert this second and long.
And the goalpost lines up like a receiver in this situation as 10 yards deep in the end zone is Caleb Evans rolling to his right. He's got no one downfield, so he's just going to run it himself. Can he get to the first down marker? He can! As Evans gets that first down for Montreal, and that'll move the chains and save them some field position.
Impressive speed there by Evans as he turns the corner, turns on the Jets, and just able to out-leverage the Argos defender. Now, looks like that was number 78, Isaac Darkangelo, who got just enough of Evans to push him out of bounds. Good hustle by the Argos defender, but not able to get Evans before he got the first down.
He'll roll out to his left this time, look downfield, another tough throw, and is Rambo able to keep his feet in bounds, or is he out of bounds? It'll be incomplete. Made the grab, just couldn't keep his feet in bounds. Another tough throw. You have Evans rolling to his left, the right-armed quarterback. That showed a lot of zip on that. So 2nd and 10, Alouettes from their own 13.
Just another display of athleticism by Evans after the first down carry on 2nd and long. As you mentioned, rolling to his left on the move, able to get those shoulders around, get the ball off, but just a little too far outside.
2nd down, Evans throwing this. He's got Rambo at the sidelines. This time he keeps his feet in bounds. That's a first down. Montreal up at the 32. Good arm strength from Caleb Evans to find Rambo.
Great touch there on the throw by Evans, and good recognition by Rambo, who's got the go route on the outside, but he sees the high defender in coverage, so he runs the fly and die, just kind of hits the brakes right there on the sideline. Evans able to connect with Rambo for the first down.
Four-man rush. Evans in trouble. He'll lose his helmet. He continues to play with the ball running down the field. No helmet. He'll get out of bounds as there's flags all over this play. A little Guy Lafleur moment for Caleb Evans with that football.
Evans in a tough spot because the rule is when you lose your helmet, you're supposed to stop playing. However, Evans was the ball carrier, so I don't think he felt like just standing there like a sitting duck as he rolled to his left.
Now, is it a penalty for getting his helmet ripped off? Is that, and then he gets a penalty for running with the football? Let's find out.
There's 2 flags on the play, roughing the passer, Toronto number 97. Then we have illegal participation against Montreal number 5 playing without his helmet. Well, up 5 yards, automatic first down for Montreal. Il y a 2 pénalités sur le jeu, rudesse contre le corps, Toronto 97, puis il y a participation illégale contre Montréal numéro 5. Il a joué sans son casque. On va avancer de 5 verges, ça va être premier essai Montréal.
Caleb Evans was running with a big smile on his face too, because he knew that if anybody came close, he was just going to slide, but no one was near him. But it'll be an automatic first down for the Alouettes. The ball moved up to the 37, but his hair flowing. Gingerly down the left side, Caleb Evans. New set of downs for the Owls. Route, there's Bowman. Can he get away from the tackle? He can. A wide receiver screen and minimal yardage on first down.
Play by Argos defensive back and former Montreal Alouettes Karfala Exume. Recognizes the screen, takes on 2 blockers, just trying to blow the whole thing up, creating a little bit of chaos at the point of attack. That allowed for his teammate, Kerry Vincent Jr., to come free and make the tackle on the Owls receiver.
In the shotgun, Caleb Evans puts his receivers in motion. He's got 2 to his left. And he's got a man wide open and blockers in front. Up the field. There's Lindsay. That's Rambo again, not Lindsay, 76. Beautifully executed play by the Alouettes offense all the way up to the 45. We do have an injured Owl on the play.
And that's just a numbers game there, as the Argos had 2 defenders on the left side with 2 Alouettes receivers, but nobody accounted for the extra blocker, which was the pulling offensive lineman. And so it became a 3-on-2 advantage for the Alouettes. Good catch and run there by Rambo, who takes it into Alouettes territory. Now, the Owl down on the field. Offensive lineman Josh Donovan back up on his feet. Older than the tree. Younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Gosh, that gets me going every time.
Alouettes drive started at their own 2-yard line. And they're all the way up to the Argo 45. Charleston Rambo with a couple big catches on this drive. It's being led by Caleb Evans. He had a big 11-yard scramble from his own end zone just to keep the drive alive on 2nd and 11. He'll take that snap, 4-man rush, stays in the pocket, going down deep, far side, and just overthrows his receiver. Fans want a flag, aren't going to get it. 2nd and 10.
Good coverage by Argo's defensive back. Chris Steele looked to me like Evans maybe had that predetermined in his head that he was going to take a shot on the outside there to Rambo, but Steele step for step with the Montreal receiver as that one lands incomplete and out of bounds. 2nd and 10 for the Owls from the Toronto 45-yard line.
Sibasu comes into the backfield. Low snap. Evans takes it, steps up in the pocket, scrambles to his left, and he's going to go for a run himself, and he'll dive for the first down marker. Had it already, just got an extra 5 yards all the way to the 30. Caleb Evans has looked impressive here for the Alouettes.
That's an element that Evans brings to this Montreal offense, and we saw it at times last year, not only in short yardage situations, but throughout the football game where Evans would come in at quarterback as part of a package, just as a kind of change of pace quarterback. He's been doing a great job with his legs here on this drive.
Puts his receivers in motion. On 1st down, he's going to hand it off. This is Weber. Weber eluding some tackles, spins off, now comes near side. Can he get to the edge? And he makes another Argo miss to the 10. And 1st down. What a run from Weber all the way to the 6. Just kept on making the Argos miss. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, we've been waiting for a Montreal ball carrier other than Caleb Evans to show us something, and it turns out we had to wait until late in the 4th quarter here as Weber Jr., the former Ohio State Buckeye, doing a great job.
6 Argos missed a tackle on that play from Mike Weber Jr. 1st and goal from the 7. A drive that started at their own 2-yard line. Alouettes, little shovel play. It's going to go to Bowman trying to get to the edge. And he'll get inside the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Weber Jr., who took over as a freshman in the Buckeye backfield following the departure of some guy named Ezekiel Elliott. Big shoes to fill for Weber, who had a solid career in the NCAA.
A little drizzle hitting Montreal right now. 2nd and goal from the 4. Evans in the backfield. He's got Rambo one-on-one near side. Fakes the toss, rolls to his left. Trying to make time for himself. He's in trouble in the backfield, backing all the way up to the 25-yard line. Gets free, looking in the end zone. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Montreal! Jose Barban.
Talk about a way to cap off a 109-yard scoring drive as Caleb Evans, rolling to his left off of the fake, hits the brakes, comes all the way back across the field. And as he's crossing the right side numbers, finds his man at the back of the end zone for the touchdown. What an athletic play by the Alouettes quarterback.
Jose Barbing makes the catch, but that was all about Caleb Evans. 1st and goal from the 4, and he was back at the 30-yard line when he eventually found some space, rolled right, and gave his receivers time. Jose Maltos out for the extra point. The fans absolutely loving that one. And it is put through by Maltos. And the Owls lead 30-13 with 6:44 left in the fourth quarter on TSN 690.
Witness the power.
108-yard drive, technically 109 because they lost a yard on the first play. Could have been a safety on the first play. It was that close. And Caleb Evans caps it off with his 4-yard touchdown pass to Jose Marvin.
I'll tell you what, Evans must have ran about 80 yards on that play, as he took it almost all the way to the left side sideline before hitting the brakes, reversing course, and coming all the way back to the right side numbers.
Jose Maltos with the kickoff. McFadden, sorry, that's McMahon, not McFadden. McMahon gets up to the 35, and Argos go back to work for the Owls in a comfortable 17-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Brian Scott still out there at quarterback for Toronto.
Argos scoreless so far in this second half.
Scott 3 for 7, 36 yards as he took over once the second half start. Late substitution for the Alouettes. Seen that from both squads here in this preseason game. Scott throwing on first down. He's got a man on the far side of the field. Nice hard tackle made by Miles Brooks. Polk with the catch.
Good job by Scott recognizing the pressure coming off the right side edge from the Montreal defense. Scott finds his man on the outside, putting them ahead of the sticks here on second down.
2nd and 3 for the Argos from their own 40. They're going to hand it off, and looks like they got 4 yards, so that's enough, and that'll move the chains. LeBourne with the carry. Talk about preseason for the players, the coaches, for the broadcasters. Preseason for the fans, too. Just a little drizzle. Saw a couple fans bring out the umbrellas. Football games, umbrellas are a no-go. It's poncho. It's a poncho sport. Football's a poncho sport. Umbrellas, big crowds, a no-go. Throwing a first down. It's tipped up in the air. Can't find Polk on that one with Scott, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
Scott's going to wish, Polk's going to wish he had that one back. His ball was a little high, but he was able to get 2 hands on it. Wondering if perhaps that light rain here may have made those gloves a little slick.
You're my weather expert. I know the wind is picked up as Scott is throwing into that light wind, and he's got his man kneeled and almost caught from behind as he was being chased down by Nafis Lyon, who's been in this game from start to finish.
Makes you wonder if this Alouette staff is looking to get a good look at Nafis Lyons, as you mentioned. I can't recall a drive that he wasn't out there on the field for the Alouettes defense.
Hurry up offense. Kevin Mattel with the catch on first down, and that looks to be about 9 yards. Second down and short. And they'll get right up to the line with 4:15 remaining here in the fourth quarter, down by 17. Second and about half a yard. Scott in the shotgun. LeBourne to his right, receivers in motion. Looking to throw on second down, 3-down territory, and it's almost intercepted. Diving for it was Latavius Brinney. But it'll be third and half a yard for the Argos with 4 minutes remaining.
Good coverage there by the Owls defenders. Draped all over the intended receiver.
Scott in the shotgun on third and half a yard. Going to hand that off to LeBourne, and we got flags on the play. It looks like the Owls were offside. They were thrown as the ball was snapped.
Third time we've seen that
the
in this
Montreal defensive
game.
line was offside. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's first down for Toronto. La ligne défensive de Montréal était hors-jeu. Ils n'ont pas donné une verge. Pénalité de 5 verges.
How many
Premier
meetings have
essai
you
Toronto.
had talking about the full 1 yard on third and one? How many meetings have you had, Marco?
Countless, but I'll tell you what, though. That yard feels like a country mile in a second or third and short situation.
New set of downs for the Argos, still driving. 3:33 left here in the fourth quarter. Scott in trouble. He'll scramble for a couple yards up to the Owls' 30, so pods of yards. Second and long upcoming. He moves the ball.
Good pressure on the outside there by Alouettes defender Jalen Moody, forcing Scott to step up inside.
Moody played one game for Saskatchewan last year, so technically his second year, and ball, did it hit the turf? Owls defense saying it did. On that second down, no, it's going to be a catch. And it looks like we're going to be third and short. Another third down opportunity here at the 3-minute warning. 2:56 left in the fourth quarter. Alouettes up 17, 30-13 on TSN. .256 left here in this football game. Alouettes in command, 30-13. Argos have yet to score here in the second half. All three Alouettes quarterbacks having their moments, from Cody Fajardo, Davis Alexander, and Caleb Evans. But it's going to be a third and one.
Montreal is challenging the ruling on the last play. They believe the pass is incomplete. The play is being reviewed. Montréal demandait une révision du dernier jeu. Ils sont d'avis que la passe était incomplète. Le jeu est sous révision.
All right, so we have a challenge from Jason Moss. as the defenders felt like that ball hit the turf. And if it is a catch, it's 3rd and 1. If not, it'll be more like 3rd and 7.
And why not late in the game? Take a shot at it.
See if we can get another look at this. It was close. Yeah, B.J. Burr getting his hands under it, but did he get his hands under it before it hit the turf? It's tough to see as his... Maybe we're getting another better angle here from our friends over at RDS.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. Montreal loses the challenge and their last timeout. Suite à la révision du jeu, le jugement sur le terrain est maintenu. Montréal perd son temps mort et sa demande de révision. C'est 3e essai.
Nice catch by B.J. Burke, keeping his hands underneath that ball and scooped it up. But it is a 3rd and 1. We'll see if the Alouettes can stay onside. That'll be step number 1, Marco.
Great coaching opportunity here in the coming days, as I'm sure they'll have a cut-up of all those penalties.
In the shotgun, though, is Scott. LeBourne, the running back, and Scott, he'll shovel that over to Neal, and that's going to be enough for a first down as he came across, and then a flag after the play. Moody is in the mix, and I saw Mattel. But that was, the play was over on the right side by Neal. He gets the first down, and more closer to the line of scrimmage. There was a late flag thrown.
After the play, we have a misconduct penalty against Toronto number 68. We'll go back 15 yards. It's going to be first down for Toronto.
That is their
À la
left
fin
tackle
après le jeu,
lead.
il y a une pénalité d'inconduite contre Toronto 68. On va reculer de 15 verges. Ça va être premier essai pour Toronto.
So it was enough for a first down, but they'll back up. They got the ball all the way to the 18-yard line, and now they're going to place it at the 36. So 1st and 10 from the 36, and the Argos are backing up with 2:38 remaining, down by 17.
Montreal defense trying to keep the Argos out of the end zone, as they have throughout the last 27 and a half minutes of this second half.
5 receivers set for the Argos. Scott puts him in motion. 3 to his right, 2 to his left. Looking left, down the field, and overthrows Polk. Threw it to the open side of the field. There is a flag on the play. Well, the flags are coming out every play now.
Looked like Scott took a hit there.
Roughing the passer, Montreal number 47. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for Toronto. Rudesse contre le quart, Montréal numéro 47, pénalité de 15 verges. Va être premier essai pour Toronto.
Jalen Moody getting noticed again. Moody has been getting noticed throughout the second half. Probably not the way he wants to get noticed. So that 15 yards goes back the other way. And now they'll place the ball at the 21. 1st and 10, Argos. 2:33 remaining here in the fourth.
And Moody, part of the rush, inside stunt there, gets to the face of the quarterback, tried to get his arm up to knock the football down, but instead he knocks Scott in the head.
Scott in the pocket and kicked away by Smoke Monday. Oh, sorry, that's Miles Brooks, not Smoke. That's 38, not 39. Not 39, not 38. Miles Brooks cuts in, looking for the ball, and just kicked it away defensively. Don't know if I've seen that before.
Like
Preseason football, baby.
Anything goes.
2nd and 10. Well, the Owls need a backup kicker. Scott puts his receivers in motion. 2nd attempt for the 21. He's looking left, steps up. Now he'll throw underneath. That goes incomplete. It's 3rd down.
Tell you what, that was a low percentage throw from Scott there, rolling to his left. He hits the brakes, tries to throw cross body to his right.
It was behind and low for Neal. And we have a 3rd and 10 from the 21 for the Argos, who clearly are going to go for it with 2:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Three receivers to his left. LeBourne in the backfield. 5-man rush. Scott in trouble, spins away. Now runs to his left. He'll tuck that football and look for that first down, but then he fumbles the football. The Alouettes will pick it up. popped out of his hands, and Darlin McKenzie will pick it up. First down, Montreal.
And guess who? Nafis Lyons with the forced fumble there. Lyons, who had an interception in the first half of this football game, puts a big hit on the Argos quarterback as that ball pops loose. And the Alouettes played pretty much every defensive snap, at least that I can remember so far here tonight.
It's going to be an offensive snap for the Alouettes, up 17. The team is going to feel good about this game, their first time against competition that is not themselves. As we have a new quarterback in for the Alouettes, James Morgan, number 16. He'll hand off on first down, and the Alouettes will get about 3 yards. James Morgan over to Michael Herzog. They're getting their first snaps and touches with 2 minutes remaining.
Herzog, the Alouettes' 6th-round draft pick this year.
Morgan out of Florida International, first CFL taste. Puts his receivers in motion on 2nd and long. He'll pump back, throw, and find Rambo near the first down marker. Now they're going to say that he couldn't keep that ball as he went to the turf, and they'll call that incomplete. So 3rd down, and the Owls will have to punt the ball away with 1:41 remaining.
Good throw there by Morgan. Slant route to Rambo, but Rambo just unable to hang on to it. Survive contact with the ground. Rambo with a solid outing so far here tonight. 4 catches, 71 yards for the rookie receiver.
That leads yardage-wise for the Owls. 6 catches for Bowman, only for 54 yards. As Sam Clark ready to punt this away. His own 5-yard line. New returner in for the Argos, catching that ball up at midfield. Xavier Malone. And the Argos offense right back out on the field, led by Brian Scott. They have 92 seconds. Maybe put something into the end zone as the Alouettes defense and blank them here in the second half.
Good opportunity here for Scott to work on the no-huddle offense. Those are the types of situations you like to find yourself in the preseason. Gives you an opportunity not only for the players to run it, but also for the coaches to make the proper play calls.
Scott in the shotgun, puts his receivers in motion. 4-man rush. He'll go underneath. He's got a man. That's Kevin Mattel. And he's got 12 yards. That's good enough for a first down up to the Alouette 40. And the Argos get up to the line quickly. 1:24 left on the clock. Left hash mark. Scott calls his plays, 3 receivers to his right. LeBourne in the backfield, takes the snap as it's whistled in. And we have a drop right into the hands of Shropshire. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Alouette 40.
Well thrown ball there by Scott. Just the quick out to the left, but Shropshire unable to hang on to that one. As surprisingly, quite a few fans have stayed here late into this first preseason game, despite the rain here in Montreal.
No in the backfield for the Argos. 6 options, and he'll go to Mattel right underneath, and he makes an Alouette miss, and he'll get a first down to the 25 and a little bit more. So Kevin Mattel with a catch, the draft pick for the Argos, 1:10 remaining.
Little Laval on Laval violence there as he collided with his former teammate and Alouettes draft pick Vincent Delille.
And Scott in trouble, and he gets sacked. He was trying to hold on to that football and let it go, but he goes down quickly. Bryce Cosby pick up the sack. Toronto takes timeout with 62 seconds left. 2nd and long. Cosby off the edge just runs by LeBourne right into Scott. Not many sacks today.
Cosby's been doing a good job coming off the edge here in the second half of this football game, putting pressure on the Argos quarterback.
2nd and 14 for the Argos. Receivers in motion. Scott, and he's going to get sacked again. Now we're down to 3rd down for the Argos. About 4 Owls in on that tackle. I don't know who you want to give it to. TD Moultrie, maybe. He was the closest, but I think 4 Owls got a hand on him. And it's 3rd and very long, 16. They have to get inside the 15-yard line for a first down. Clock is ticking away. Scott going out to talk to his receivers. He gets back behind center, puts his receivers in motion. Blitz coming. Scott, he'll put this deep towards the end zone. That'll go incomplete. The Alouettes will take over on downs with 31 seconds remaining.
Fitting way for the Owls to close out this football game. Turnover on downs there as the Argos will be held scoreless here in the second half of this football game as that one sails into the end zone incomplete. Good job by the Alouettes defense.
Well, why don't you give me a couple names as the Owls offense just comes out to run this out. Offensively and defensively, who you like today in this preseason game for the Alouettes?
Well, you know, I wouldn't consider Nafis Lyons a young guy or a bubble guy, although I'm wondering why he was out there for all 4 quarters of this football game. I mean, Nafis Lyons started games in this Montreal secondary last year, but I mean, if he was indeed on the bubble, I think he made a case for himself to stay on this football team as he had both an interception and a forced fumble in this football game. I liked what I saw as well out of Bryce Cosby, putting some good pressure off the edge all night long. No, none of the pass rushers really jumped out at me as we were looking to find somebody who was going to be able to fill the shoes of Lawal Ugwak and perhaps even Sean Lemon, pending what's going to happen here over the next couple of weeks.
This should be the final play of the game. We'll see how long it takes. Snap with 5 seconds. Herzog will take it. He keeps his legs moving, and I see zeros up on the clock, and the Owls players and the Argos players are ready to march out on the field, and the Alouettes, are they getting held back? Are we going to get one more play? No, they're good. That'll do it. 30-13, Alouettes beat the Argos in this first preseason game of the year.
Well, regardless of what's at stake, you always love to go back into a winning locker room, whether it's the preseason or not. Just the mood is a lot better after a win. And good news for the Alouettes. Doesn't appear that there were any major injuries to any of their projected starters. A good showing by the offense, including by quarterback Cody Fajardo, who finished his night 7 for 8. 107 yards and 1 touchdown pass to receiver Keon Jewell.